What's going on, guys? Andrew Simpson here, aka ASimp Vlogs. Now this video is going to be a little bit different than my normal one. I'm mainly making this video to be a kind of an accountability buddy so that I can make sure that I remember what my vision is and what I want to do for this company and what I can see the potential being. So I'm going to talk a bit about my company and what I have to do now, what I have to do in the near future to make sure that I stay on the right path. So my company is called Someone New. I'm probably gonna have it like somewhere right here in this area. I don't know. I'm gonna have it written out. It's spelled someone with a W at the end of it. Do not spell out the entire word because then you're gonna end up with some dating site and it's not us. No. Okay. So let me just talk about how I came up with this idea, how I started working on it, the background behind everything, and then I'll talk about what we're doing now, what we're planning on doing. So when I was, like I told you guys, I took the 1.5 years off college because I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And I ended up writing a lot of ideas down. I did this challenge, which I actually think you guys should do too if you're watching this video. You should try, if you want to be more creative and start thinking and coming up with more ideas, whether it's for a startup idea, whether it's for if you're a writer or if you want to create movies or cartoons, whatever you want to do. So one challenge that I started doing was coming up with 10 ideas every day. So in the morning I would come up with a random topic and then I would come up with 10 ideas. Let's say the category was 10 ways to improve a movie theater. And then you would come up with 10 different ideas that can be implemented in a movie theater that does not already exist, that can make a movie theater better in your opinion. And the reason why that's really helpful is because it challenges your mind to actively think of new ideas. It pushes you really hard because once you get to the 4th, 5th, 6th idea, then it gets really hard to push out the last couple to get to 10. And so doing that, it really strains your brain, and then your brain naturally will be in that creative mode. And so when you do that every day, then when you start noticing things, you might come up with solutions, you might randomly think of ideas. And so that's what was happening to me. So I ended up coming up with a lot of ideas through this challenge, but then outside of it, the byproduct of actually doing that, I came up with a lot of business ideas that I think that actually could be viable that don't already exist in a major way right now. So I went through all of my ideas that I had, and all of my ideas had something in common. They were either connecting people with other people, allowing people to just network. They were in the realm of dating or having people meet new people in a non-professional way just to make new friends. So I used all of those, and I thought of this idea of making a random chat app. So it's kind of like Yik Yak, was the idea that I came up with. And I was like, okay, Yik Yak already exists. There's already something like Chat Roulette and Omegle, which is, those things are kind of done the wrong way because they're not moderated very well. They don't have someone really just watching to make sure that people aren't just, on the in the videos. So what I decided to do was make it so that people can talk in person in an easier way. And so I was looking at articles and I found this company called One, and they were around about 5-6 years ago. They worked for 5 years. They got in quite a few universities, and they just stopped working on their idea and they started moving on to a different idea. And I think that they built something great. Of course, there's the innovators, the imitators, and the idiots, right? So I don't know which one they fall under, but to me they were the innovators, but they stopped working on what they were doing. And I think that if they had the same mission that I see, then they could take it a lot further than they did. Now, I think that's great. I think that's a great early version, and I think that it has more potential than they even saw themselves. And so I was thinking of incorporating that kind of technology because I see that that's becoming more popular. There's a lot of people doing that for bars and for other things, but I think having the general interest category, especially on a university level, and reaching people, I think that you can really help people. Honestly, if that company was still working today and they were still pushing, I would reach out to them and try to help them. I would be a campus ambassador for them. I'd be more than willing to do that because I think that with my vision that I have for how big their technology could take them, I think if they had me on their team, I feel like we would be able to really do great things. I think that it's more than just, my vision is more than just telling people what they have in common and then putting them together. I think that's just the ground phase. I think that's just so you can get your initial user base. So my company, Someone New, it's going to start out using that exact same technology because it's a proven model, but the mission is so much different. The growth, the potential that it has is so much bigger than what One was, just because One raised, I believe they got either $1 million valuation or they raised $1 million and then they ended up moving on to a different idea. But I think that they were on the right track. They just stopped trying to innovate and become bigger. And so I'm using that technology because it makes sense to me to get people out of their comfort zones, and I'm building Someone New. Now, Someone New, it's going to begin using that technology that helps bring people together, but the purpose of Someone New is to help you become a better, more confident version of yourself. Now, becoming a better version of yourself, that can be taken in so many different ways because that's extremely subjective. Now, the reason why I want to do this is because I want to help people become that person that they want to become, and I think that this is one way to help people step out of their comfort zone and move to the next level to become who they want to be. And I want to move past that. I want to be able to not only get people to have that initial interaction with Someone New, but I want to help them move forward and learn how to turn that initial conversation into a connection that's a strong bond. So I want to be able to get professionals so that, of course, everything I say now, that's going to be determined based on feedback I get. But what I want to see happen is I want to help people get better at fostering these relationships rather than just having that one-time conversation. I think that this is a great way to begin. I think that One was spot on at the ground phase of it because it allows people to step out of their comfort zones. It makes it easier for you to talk to someone new. And I love that I talked to a lot of people so far with this company. I went out and just talked to a lot of people. I'm talking to 50 people this week alone. I'm going to be talking to a lot of people because I love those conversations where people are challenging you and they don't really understand the vision and they see that, okay, it's a cool idea, but I don't really think it's necessary for me. I don't think I need it. I love that because I love those people that are willing to say, you know what, I think the idea is cool, but I don't really see the potential. I love that because then I'm able to, if they're open to having dialogue about it, a lot of times I'm able to convince them otherwise. Like my favorite objection is, well, I only want to use this because I want to talk to a pretty girl. So if it's not a pretty girl, there's no point of me even doing it. I think with that logic, you miss out on so much opportunity. That person walking right past you can end up being your best friend. That person can end up being connected to that pretty girl that you want to talk to. That person there's so much possibility. And you miss out on these opportunities when you walk right past someone because you don't know what they can do for you. You don't know what you can do for them. You don't know how you can improve their lives and how they can improve yours. And you miss out on too much opportunity just by walking down the street. Like, have you guys noticed when you walk down the street and then someone instantly is just looking right at the ground? Like, why is the ground suddenly interesting to you? Why does the ground become interesting as soon as you get into a position, an area of proximity where eye contact might be normal? People feel weird about making eye contact with people that are walking past them. Like just to do a little small smile like, hey, how's it going? Or how's it going? Just none of that is stuff that cross through a lot of people's mind. A lot of people when they walk right past someone, their eyes get magnetized. They don't even care to interact with you at all. We're becoming antisocial, and I think that it's time for us to make a change because I want better for myself. I want better for you guys. I want better for my generation and the next. The next generation really needs us because they're so antisocial now that if it's not on social media, they don't care. They don't care to talk to you unless it's liking a status or commenting. Like, I hate the disconnect that we have amongst one another. We communicate primarily through social media, so social media becomes the bubble that is the only way we feel comfortable talking to each other. Like, we've gotten so lazy that we abbreviate our text messages. We type LOL with a straight face. Like, come on, guys. I'm tired of it. I think we all need to make a change. And I think someone new is helpful to help facilitate that change. And I think that the ground floor of connecting people based on shared interests, getting them to talk to each other, will allow them to flex that muscle of speaking to someone new, and then they'll get that practice in, and they'll be able to talk to that pretty girl. So my objection to those people that say, oh, well, I would only use it to talk to that pretty girl, or why should I care? I don't need to do that. I'm confident. I'm able to do it. No, use this as a tool to keep you sharp. People that say they're confident enough to walk up to new people, great, that's cool. I mean, some people really are, and they aren't gonna be my target at all. But I'm confident going up to new people and having conversation. I have the confidence to go up to someone I don't know and talk to them. How often do I actually do it when it's not for this company? Not very often. Not often at all. And I cringe a little bit when people tell me, I do it all the time. You don't though. You don't. It's different if you're talking to new people because it's your job for your company. Like, even YouTubers who do social experiments, which in the future I plan on reaching out to them. They are the type of people that when the camera's rolling, they're the most confident people. They can go up to anyone and have that conversation because they know it's for a video and they understand it's their job. But I've seen a lot of those Q&As for YouTubers who say, I mean, it's something I practice. It's something I practice, and when the camera's rolling, I do my job. But then when they're not in front of the camera, they don't just walk up to new people and say random things. They don't do comment trolling in real life without the video camera rolling. But yeah, guys, this seems like it's gonna end up being a two-parter. So I'm gonna wrap up this video here. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.